Do you have any kind of exercise kit?
Oh, plenty. Lots of.
We all join to the gym, but we never go, do we?
I never saw my granny in lycra.
And why don't you use it?
Because I'm too lazy.
If I go up another level, I might have a heart attack.
They used to do it 50 years ago, so why can't we do it now?
We'll do it. Okay, bring it on. I think.
Good luck.
I reckon, when it comes to exercise, I'm probably about average. I go through phases when I do a fair bit. Bit of running, bit of sport if I've got to, and then, you know, these things get in the way. Home life, work life, and it all kind of stops. And that's when the guilt starts to creep in. And nowadays, it is coming at us from every direction. People on the telly talking about it, and images everywhere. Should we worry about exercise?
Yeah.
Do you worry about exercise? Do you think about it?
Yeah, all the time. I mean, 2 years I stopped doing any exercise. I thought about it every day. Every day, you think, like, in the morning you're going to go. Like, we all join to the gym, but we never go, do we?
Is there any sort of guideline that we're supposed to do? Do you know of a...
I know the government does have guidelines, but I don't actually know what they are.
It's just like, I need to exercise, but what do I do that's actually going to benefit me?
Yeah.
Girls have so much more pressure than lads.
I think there's as much pressure on blokes.
Maybe, but girls have had it for a lot longer.
Even in magazines with women of my age, they're all still very slim, almost unreal, I think.
Yeah.
Clearly, it isn't just me. We are worried about exercise, or maybe confused is a better word. Confused about should we bother with it at all, and if we do, how much, what sort? Can we hurt ourselves if we do it wrong? Well, these magazines are all full of experts giving us advice, so one of them must be able to give me some definitive answers. All I've got to do is find them. And what exactly is spinning? You sit on them. But how often? I wanted to see if you can tell me about the Alexander technique. Sounds faintly rude. Well, it took a while and a lot of coffees, and I had to buy all the magazines in the end, but I've done it. I found a guy. He's called Peter Williams, and he is a health expert, and he's from the health department. Not the government one. This is actually a one-on-one fitness place in London, and he's agreed to answer my simple and rather basic questions. There you go. Told you so. Health department. This is an obvious question, but exercise, why? In simple terms, what does it really do for us?
Exercise really helps us with health problems such as obesity, cardiovascular disease, diabetes. And really, regular exercise just makes our body...
Are we under too much pressure? Are we under the wrong pressure about exercise?
I think what people have got to do is understand that everyone's an individual. So what health and fitness is to one person is something different to another.
How do you mean? I'd have thought surely fit is fit, isn't it? I mean, if you're healthy or unhealthy.
Here's an example. Someone might see fitness as being able to run a marathon, whereas someone else might see fitness as just being able to run around in the back garden with the kids and not get out of breath. You know, you can't really just look at a picture and say, you know, someone who's thin is healthy and fit.
Well, these are images of fitness, you know, that. This is fit. Slim stars and celebrities and all of these people.
Let me show you a picture. This is a friend of mine. All I want you to do is look at her and tell me what you think.
I don't want to offend your friend, probably a little bit overweight maybe, and I would say probably not very fit.
This is Amy. Now, Amy's the scrum half for the Women's England Rugby Union side. She trains 15 hours a week. She's got great cardiovascular fitness, she's got great strength, and she's very flexible. She's probably one of the fittest people I know.
So hang on, does that, if you can't tell from how people look, all these images, all of this stuff, maybe it's just a front. Maybe I'm as fit as him.
Why don't we do some tests?
Yeah.
And see how fit you are and see how fit this guy is.
How can we find out how fit he is? Do you know him?
Yeah, I do know him.
You do know him?
Yeah.
All right, we'll do it.
Could be.
Bring it on, I think.
Good luck.
Hello. I've got a losing feeling going on right now, but I'm going to be strong.
Oh, blimey, he's even better looking in the flesh. But does that mean he's really fit?
You two are looking good also.
Thank you very much.
For our big fitness face-off.
So, tops off.
What? Can I make a good man? I'm feeling all right. So, like, do you spend a lot of time working out?
About 3-4 times a week, yeah.
Right. For how long?
Hour and a half.
Right.
What about yourself?
You know, less. than that, Rick. What are you doing?
We're going to do body fats first.
The calipers measure the fat underneath the skin.
Yeah, very good. If you didn't work out,
Yes.
and you drank quite a lot, and ate rubbish mostly, very occasionally went for a run and had a reasonably stressful job.
Are you talking about yourself now?
A bit. What would you look like?
Well, like you.
What I'm going to do, Rich, I'm just going to lift your top up.
Read it and weep, abs boy. There they are. It's more of a party pack.
So we're going to take a measurement across the belly button.
Yeah.
And we're going to take one at the biggest circumference of your butt cheeks.
Why?
What they found is that the relationship and the ratio between the two measurements gives us an indication of whether you're potentially at risk of cardiovascular disease or diabetes. If the stomach is a lot bigger than the hips, then you're at more risk. And for men, if we're at 0.9 or over, then we're increasing our risk. And for women, it's 0.8 or over.
That's if your stomach is 0.9 of your hips, if you like.
Yeah, 0.9 or over.
OK, jokes aside, the point of this is to discover if I'm as fit as Remco and if he's as fit as he looks.
Since you came along, you sexy thing.
Remco looks great, but he does spend 6 hours a week in the gym. Could I really be as fit as him?
OK, guys, I've got your results here.
Go on then. Excited.
Body fat. Richard,
Yes.
19%, which is actually pretty good.
OK.
Remco, 12%. Excellent.
Oh, right.
Hips to waist ratio.
Yeah.
Richard, 0.87, which
it's
again...
below the 0.9.
It is, absolutely. Remco, 0.825, which again is excellent.
Right.
The lunge test?
Yes.
83%, Richard. Good job.
Fantastic.
Remco, 83% as well.
Oh, right.
And finally, the press-up test?
Yeah.
I scored you both 100%. Good job, guys. It says that you're actually both pretty good for your age group.
But 12% of you is fat. Well, although Remco is fitter than me, there's not much in it. And yet, I know that I look nothing like him. And then there's Amy, here we go. She's mega fit. But she looks nothing like all the skinny women in these magazines. So I think there are two issues here. There's image, what we look like, and how fit we actually are. Most of us are never going to look anything like all these people in these mags. So I'm going to forget about all of that. And I'm going to concentrate on finding out how we can exercise to get fit and then stay fit.
Now, when most people think about exercise, they think about joining a gym. But the more I look at it, the more reasons I can find for not going. Thousands of people injure themselves each year simply because they don't know what they're doing. Well, how mad is that? You go to a gym to get fitter, not hurt. And gyms are expensive, especially if you don't stick at it. This year, 200 million quid will be wasted by people taking out an annual membership and then giving up.
Do you know, I'm actually quite glad that the gym turns out to be potentially damaging for my wealth because, well, I don't really like it. I can't bear it. I reckon if you're going to do any sort of regular exercise, it's got to be something you enjoy. And I just happen to really enjoy running. I do. I guess because it's, well, it's simple enough. It's sort of manly and rugged. You don't have to wear lycra, which is a good thing. And what do you need to do it? I mean, a pair of feet, a pair of shoes, a pair of legs that bend in the middle, and off you go. How much more simple can it be? I mean, surely this is one form of exercise that I can't go wrong with. So, Nigel, if you're feeling fit, come on then.
Except it's not that simple, which is why I'm off to meet Kerry Diss, an expert in running.
Kerry, hello, I'm
Nice to
Richie.
meet you.
This is a nice day. Is that for me?
It's for you.
I want to thank you for that. It's very cold. Right, expert in running. Can you tell? I mean, look, somebody's running past now.
Right, the guy on the left, he actually remains quite a bit on the outside of his feet. That could actually cause outer knee pain, outer hip pains. We want to actually try and prevent those things happening.
This guy's running in shorts.
Well,
Apart from being nuts, obviously. Is he running all right?
Well, his running style is actually quite good and he's running quite fast, but his we might look at from an economy point of view. He's got a very big kickback with his heels.
So he's raising his feet too high
waste of
behind, just
energy.
wasting energy, I suppose, in the end. There's another two here. Hat and scarf.
Hat and scarf,
Good
lovely,
idea.
yeah.
How are they running?
The man on the right's actually running quite well, but the woman on the left, I would be concerned with her right foot. It tends to be sort of tilting inwards as she's running along, so that might be an issue to actually look at her footwear.
So is there anything we can do, or is that it? That's just the way you run?
Well, in some ways it is just the way you run, because you've developed the way you run from the age of 2, and when you've been doing other sports, your muscles have developed in a certain way. But the thing that shocks me the most that you can do something about is your running shoes.
Your shoes?
Your actual running shoes, yeah. The large majority of people running the wrong footwear.
What about mine? Are they bad?
Richard, they're a disaster. There's no cushioning and there's no motion control. You need a new pair of running shoes.
Really? Oh, I hate shopping.
And this is why. There's just too much choice for my tiny brain. It looks like every other shop on the high street sells sports shoes, but Kerry's told me to ask specifically for a running shoe. Right, 5 pairs came in at £430. Let's hope I was well advised, bearing in mind the wrong shoes can cause injury.
So of all these 5 shoes that I bought in high street stores as running shoes, how many of them are actually running shoes?
Well, actually, it's only this one that's a proper running shoe.
1 pair out of the 5.
But this is a very good running shoe. It's got good cushioning. Yeah, it's got quite a lot of motion control there.
So the rest are all what, fashion items or?
Yeah, cross trainers, fashion items.
So 1 pair?
Yes.
Not a good hit, right?
No wonder people are injuring themselves. It's not their fault. They're being sold the wrong shoes.
All right, you've brought me here to a specialist running shop. What's the difference going to be?
Well, let's go and have a look. OK, this is Ben, and the first thing he's going to do is measure you.
OK, hello, Ben.
Hello, your right heel.
OK, now...
Thank you very much.
I haven't had my feet measured since I was about 10.
It's very important you get your feet measured for when you buy running shoes, because a lot of people don't realise you do need to go up half a size. Your feet do heat up and they will expand
half
slightly.
Half a size?
Yes.
I was then fitted with running shoes, put on the treadmill and filmed so the shop could analyse my running style and ensure that these were the ideal shoes for me. I never knew exercise could be so complicated.
Can I stop now?
You can stop.
Not everybody can get to a place like this, so what can you do if you can't?
Right, the main thing when you're trying to choose a pair of running shoes and you can't get to a specialist shop is that you're allowed to try them on and you see them for comfort, that you're allowed to run in them, which is the main factor. If you find a pair of running shoes that suits you, then go and get a couple more before they come off the market.
Really? Yeah. And the other thing I noticed is coming in here, I thought, well, specialist shop, they're all going to be 200 quid. Actually, running shoes are cheaper than the fashion shoes that I was being sold on the high street. So you're not talking about spending a fortune, are you?
You don't gain. I mean, a running shoe between 60 and sort of 85, 90 pounds, you're paying about the right money.
Still a lot of money, but you're buying a shoe that'll work.
You're buying the right shoe. You don't gain.
I'm going to go and spend my money and buy my shoes that work and some running kit and go for a run, see if it works.
Right.
Oh, you know what? I feel a bit silly. I know I've got all the kit on and I know my shoes fit and I've spoken to an expert, but truth is, I can't be bothered. I can't be bothered to exercise. I couldn't be bothered with the gym and I can't be bothered with this. And is that just me? Or maybe that's just us. Maybe we can't be bothered, because if we could, well, we'd all be really fit, we'd exercise all the time. So I'm going to do some research. Well, when I say I am, I can't actually be bothered to do that either. So I'm going to call my researcher, get him on the case. Jamie. Reg, hello. Yeah.
So I find myself in an average suburban street in Scotland
because my researcher has found out the following. Not only, according to this report, are people in Scotland kind of the laziest when it comes to exercise, but even when it comes to the easiest way of doing it of all, not going to a gym, not playing football, staying at home and using home exercise equipment, a third of people in Scotland who buy that kind of kit say that they use it once, if that. In some cases, it's still in the box. So, I'm in Helensburgh to find out why. Hello. Do you have any kind of exercise kit?
Oh, plenty. Lots of. Not used, though. Exercise bike.
You can't possibly exercise on it. It's got a coat hanging off it and
Well, it's stuck down there as well, you see.
Did you use it much?
I used it the once and then never again.
That was it. Is that sort of electronic frisbee?
You meant to go like that.
Oh, come off.
And
so how many times have you used that?
Well, hardly ever. I mean, that's still brand new as well.
Hey, now, look, I know what this is. When I last moved house,
The removal men said every house they do has got one of these stomach exercises in.
That's a workbench.
OK, or a watering can and diving suit rest.
All my videos are in here somewhere.
7 secrets of yoga. What happened to Mr. Motivator?
Cher.
Cher? That's singing and stuff, isn't it?
Rosemary Connolly. 5
You've got
Steps
a
to
lot.
Fat Loss.
Joanna Hall. Who's Angela Griffith?
She was in Coronation Street, remember?
No.
If this is anything to go by, Scotland must be awash with unused exercise equipment.
Jane Fonda, there she is, the legend that started this whole video craze. You do know she was bulimic?
Really?
Yes, so
Well,
when she said feel the burn, it was probably just stomach acid, to be honest.
Well, I never knew that.
Look at that man in the background! You've got to be joking! He's going to come out of those shorts. I can't watch. Oh, man, that's too terrible. And the headband, that is a fashion that is not coming back. What does that man think he looks like? With his little hairy pot. That's fantastic.
Oh.
OK, do you want to watch Mr. Motivator?
That's a good laugh to put on at parties when everybody's having a few drinks.
Is that entirely what it was meant for?
No. There you are. This is what we do on the night.
Right,
On a
so you're
Friday
over at-
evening, you'd be out with your bottles of lager and you'd be marching
You'd
away.
spill it.
When you get a dozen sailors round here all dancing to Mr. Motivator.
Oh, crikey. Yes, I'm surprised there's anything left intact.
And it's just
in
not
here.
the sailors. I mean, the wives come round as well. It's not one of them mad parties.
No, that's fine.
It's not all true what they say about sailors.
Let's get Cher on then, come on.
Check Cher's outfit on. Sure, we've all got outfits like that to work out with.
There's sinister undertones to this video. But hang on. It's the woman with the headband on at the front. She's the expert. So Cher is just one of the people in the class. So you are paying for a video just to watch Cher at an exercise class. So she's getting paid whilst just getting fit.
Exactly.
Right. So if you know that these things don't work for you, why do you keep buying them?
I think I'll find a video tape one day that will work for me.
So is it just Donna who wastes money on exercise equipment she doesn't use? I'm off to check out the friends and neighbours.
What's this?
A lateral thigh trainer.
How many times have you used it?
About 3 times.
What is this? Oh, here you go. It's an abs thing. How long have you had that?
7 years.
And how often do you use it?
Never used.
You've never...
No.
This is our state-of-the-art gym in here.
Right, OK. You're giving this a big build-up, it better be... Whoa, OK.
We've got golf clubs, they're pretty recent. Exercise wear here. I think that's been taken out once, to be quite honest.
Whoa! What's that? Has this ever been used?
I've used the skip rope.
How long have you had this?
About a year.
This is the first loft I've been in. What are we looking for in here, then?
Well, we've got a couple of videos in here.
That's Jerry Halliwell.
Jerry, yeah.
How often have you done that?
None.
You've never used it?
No, never used it.
Whoa, hold on a sec. That's an ice skate. I think I know the answer to this. How many times have you worn these?
Once.
Here it is, look. Doing duty, holding the door open. And why don't you use it?
Because I'm too lazy.
I admire your honesty. That's perfectly acceptable. How did this break?
I can't remember.
Was it through overuse?
Probably.
Really?
I'm lying.
No, I thought you might be.
There seems to be a pattern emerging here. Same story in nearly every house.
These are the best weights I've found yet. Look at these. So how many times have you ever used these?
Been that long ago, I forget.
I feel like I've disturbed an archaeological find. Yeah. I'm going to put them back.
I've just noticed that other thing I've got there as well, that thigh buster.
Oh, yes. Well, why did you buy it?
Because it was on the telly.
And you thought,
that's
just
the
what
thing
I for me. Why do we buy these things?
I don't know. We have to start off with good intentions. I'm not very good unless I'm being supervised. I need other people to motivate me, I think.
So the problem is we come home with these things. This is going to be great, this is it. And then just
That's
enthusiasm.
That's it. It's a shame, isn't it? I'll bring this out one day, though.
No, you won't. I just don't get this. There is a whole billion-pound industry that's grown up around the fact that we know we should exercise, and we go out and we buy all these videos and bits of kit. We look at the picture on the box and think, yes, I want to look like that, and then we take whatever it is home and we just can't be bothered. I mean, all these people here bought all these things that I've seen, and then now they just ended up in the garage or the spare room or the shed. They can't be bothered to do it. Why?
I'm off to do some proper old-fashioned research in a library.
This is great stuff. I've found this well-known and respected geneticist called Tim Spector, and he's found that human beings are genetically programmed to be lazy. That's just how we are. It's not that we're not motivated to exercise. We're made that way. His theory goes that it's a survival strategy from our ancestors, because when they weren't hunting or mating, they'd just kind of hang around and do nothing. They were conserving energy for when they needed it. And, get this, he reckons teenagers are particularly skilled at this survival strategy. Well, that makes perfect sense. They're not being lazy. In fact, none of us are being lazy. We're just genetically made that way.
Well, it is a great excuse, but we need to exercise. So what are we going to do? I've spoken to Dr. John Buckley from Keele University, who believes he's got the answer.
Typical student tradition. I am, of course, late.
He's going to set up an experiment with his students to prove that exercise can be easy. All we have to do is up our daily activity levels.
Getting off your backside and just being more active in day-to-day life.
We just incorporate 10,000 steps into each day. That's about 4 miles.
10,000 steps sounds like a lot to me. You reckon it can be slotted into people's daily lives?
Well, they used to do it 50 years ago. So why can't we do it now? And all we have to do is look at where we've taken those steps out. And, you know, the car journey on the Sunday to get the newspaper. You've got all day to read the newspaper, so what's an extra 15 or 20 minutes to go and get it and walk back again? Should I send an email across the office, or why don't I just deliver the memo by foot? And if we added those up over the year...
It all adds up, it all counts?
Yes, it will, yes, it does count.
And you reckon by doing that, we're not going for a run, not getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning and running in the rain?
No.
Just by doing that, little differences, you can get your 10,000 steps in.
Well, people used to do it, so why can't we do it?
All right, well, I'd love to see what students do.
The students will be put through a series of vigorous tests to determine their fitness and endurance levels.
Anybody rocking? Not perfection. Let me get some action from the back section. Body moving.
The least fit will be asked to do a minimum of 10,000 steps a day over the next month. We'll give them pedometers to make sure they do these steps and cameras to record video diaries. We'll then return in a month, retest them and see if they're any fitter.
Feeling like it's pretty hard going at the moment, and I've been on for about 8 minutes. I'm feeling really tired at the moment. I don't really do a lot of exercise, so I don't get this tired very often.
I feel exhausted. Back to my legs are hurting.
Heart's going quite quickly. If I go up another level, I might have a heart attack, yeah.
Tell you what, not being funny, but if those students do stick to it, it'll be a miracle. But it was good today, some interesting stuff. And John kept on banging on about the 1950s. And I've been thinking about that. It's true, I never saw my granny in Lycra, which is a good thing. But this stuff about fitness back in the 50s, if you like, it wasn't a fad. It was just something you did in your day-to-day activities. I like that, it's interesting. And I want to know more. So maybe I should just talk to some people from the 50s and find out how did they do all this extra activity, and are they any fitter now as a result? I'm going to find out.
All the time, body as upright as possible.
I've come to a local day centre for the over 60s to meet some pensioners who do Tai Chi. This is going to be a weird interview.
What do I do?
Follow us.
Well, you say that. Surprisingly difficult when you get here.
Yes, it is.
You must all be pretty fit, but did you exercise or go to a gym?
No.
When you were younger?
No.
How come you were fit then?
Well, we didn't have the technology. We had scrub floors.
But were you unusual in doing that, or that's what people did?
Everybody done that.
So you wouldn't need to go to the gym. Oh, hello, tea's up, look. Oh, I want a cup of tea. Was there an awareness of the need to exercise? Because I think we're under pressure.
No, we never thought about it.
Never thought about
Really?
it.
Everything we done was exercise. I mean, you walked everywhere when you had children. You couldn't take a pram on a bus because the prams didn't fold up then, so they were big. So no matter where you went, you had to walk.
And how far would you walk then?
Oh, I walked miles.
We walked 2 miles to school. In the winter and summer. We didn't have cars then. Your parents couldn't take you to school.
So this whole kind of multi-million-pound industry, the whole fitness in didn't exist. There were no training shoes, there were no gyms, there was none of that.
No, we went ballroom dancing. Dancing,
yes.
What concerns me a bit is, my generation, and because we haven't had all that exercise built into our lives, do you think we'll struggle? Do you think our joints won't be as supple?
I don't think so. And I think you will struggle.
Really?
And your children. I don't think the generation coming up will be like us.
Really?
Yeah.
They're a lazy nation. They don't want to do anything. We were fit children, we're fit RAPs. Yeah. But you won't be, and your children won't be.
Right, well, in that case, I wonder how those students are doing.
Not done anything all day, so I might as well go down to the pub. Have a few jars.
To be honest, it's not going that well. I've managed about 8,500 steps today.
Struggling a bit today, actually. I've only managed to do 5,000 steps.
I've managed 9,704 today, to give you the exact number. Yeah, still finding it difficult.
When I'm walking between lectures, it just really kind of tots itself up, and I tend to do lots more, especially in the weekdays.
It's not too difficult. It's like you walk here, you walk there, and before you know it, you've clocked up 5,000 and you're halfway there.
I've just come in from shopping. What a challenge! 15,000 steps I've done today. What an excuse for shopping, girls.
The steps kind of went up quite quickly, actually. I was quite surprised, but I'm pleased because it means that if I'm doing 10,000 steps a day, hopefully I'll see an improvement.
Well, I'm back at Keele University a month after I set them off on their experiment. And having met and spoken to the Tai Chi group, I can kind of understand this theory that people's lives used to be more active and that's where they got their exercise. And so if you can take some extra steps every single day, it can make a difference. But in 4 weeks, I don't know, I've still got my doubts.
Okay, and stop. Here we go.
OK, so, Louise, how are you feeling? Bit out of breath,
Yeah.
obviously. Did you do your 10,000 steps?
Yeah, I did, yeah.
Do you feel any fitter?
I feel a bit fitter. Yeah.
Really? You
Yeah.
can feel a difference?
Yeah.
And how did you fit it in with your life?
We purposely started going for walks, like on a Sunday afternoon, and walking further from the car.
OK, well, let's see if it was worth it. In 4 weeks, is there an improvement?
In 4 weeks, yes, she's got a bit of improvement in fitness. She coped with the time. She stayed on the treadmill longer by about 30 seconds.
Right.
And all the way through, she was telling me she was finding it easier.
So, measurable, small improvements in just 4 weeks?
Yeah.
And it wasn't just Louise who improved. After only 1 month, here's the science bit, the students had increased their endurance fitness, which showed a 3% reduction in the strain on their heart and lungs during moderate to vigorous exertion. If we all take 10,000 steps a day, over a year, the benefits would be huge. Our blood pressure and cholesterol levels would decrease, which would reduce our chances of obesity, heart disease and strokes, resulting in us living longer, which, after all, is why we exercise.
You know, when I set off on this journey, I'll be honest, I was looking for excuses. I wanted to find out that the gym is really bad for you. But of course, if you do it properly, it isn't. And then when I found out that we're genetically programmed to be lazy, I thought, well, that's it. But of course, we still need to exercise. But how mad are we? We worry about exercise so much, we support a £1 billion industry. But the answer is so simple and right in front of us. Just be a bit more active in daily life like people used to be. And I know 10,000 steps sounds like a lot, but you can build that into your daily routine. The students prove that. So, am I going to worry about exercise? Nah, not anymore. I'm going for a walk.